The only part that I had can change was just being in your presence, God. Was just giving it all back to you, God. Was just letting you have your way. And you did some things, God. And you continue to do some things, God. All the glory is yours, God. So, Lord, I don't want glory today. I want change, God. We need you, God. We don't need clever things to say, God. We need you, God. We need your Holy Spirit, God. We need to hear from you, God. You are the change agent. Have your way, God. Lord, I surrender myself to you, God. Shut me down, God, and have your way. Open hearts even now. Remove distractions in the name of Jesus. We need to hear from you, God. We thank you, Lord, and we love you. We ask this in your name. Amen. Thank you for that song that ministered to me. Today, we're going to talk about the blame game. And if you don't like that we're going to talk about that, don't blame me. Blame Pastor Bobby because it was him that came up with it. You see where we're going with this. So we're going to be in the book of Genesis. That's where we're going to start. But I have to say that as I was studying for this, it just went to so many places. This subject is so vast, and so I just pray that I would just like zero in and laser focus because there's just so much here. But let's start in Genesis. We are in the 3rd chapter of Genesis, and you could please turn there. And I'm going to go a little before the scripture that Pastor Bobby gave. So I want to start at, and let's just start at the beginning, okay. Now the serpent was more crafty than any of the wild animals the Lord had made. He said to the woman, "Did God really say you must not eat from any tree in the garden?" The woman said to the serpent, "We may eat fruit from the trees in the garden, but God did say you must not eat fruit from the tree that is in the middle of the garden, and you must not touch it or you will die." "You will not certainly die," the serpent said to the woman, "for God knows that when you eat from it, your eyes will be opened, and you will be like God, knowing good and evil." When the woman saw that the fruit of the tree was good for food and pleasing to the eye, and also desirable for gaining wisdom, she took some and ate it. She also gave some to her husband who was with her, and he ate it. Then the eyes of both of them were opened, and they realized they were naked. So they sewed fig leaves together and made coverings for themselves. Then the man and his wife heard the sound of the Lord as he was walking in the garden in the cool of the day, and they hid from the Lord among the trees of the garden. But the Lord God called to the man, "Where are you?" He answered, "I heard you in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked, so I hid." And he said, "Who told you that you were naked? Have you eaten from the tree that I commanded you not to eat from?" The man said, "The woman you put me here with, she gave me some fruit from the tree, and I ate it." And the Lord God said to the woman, "What is this you have done?" The woman said, "The serpent deceived me, and I ate." And right there, we know what happens after that, right? They disobeyed God, they had to leave the garden, they had to have a consequence for their action. But what we're going to be focusing on today is a portion of this, which we talk about all the time, right? Which is like the blaming, right? And Adam, he blamed Eve, and she blamed that one. But let's go here, and we're going to go some 1:14, it says, each person is tempted when he is lured and enticed by his own desire. You cannot lure me to have a tuna fish sandwich with mayonnaise. There is nothing, I don't care what you tell me, if I will have the wisdom of ages, if I will never have to diet again. There is nothing that you can do to make me eat anything mayonnaise laden. That's not a temptation for me. And so when we have Adam and Eve in the garden, and the Bible says that he was with her, and a lot of times we see it like she was there with the serpent by herself, and then he happened to come, and she's just like, hey, eat this thing. He was there, he knew, but let me tell you, why were they tempted? Why was the serpent able to tempt them? Because it was already in their heart. There was something that was already there. When we go back and we see what Eve said, she said that it was good for food and it was pleasing to the eye and it was desirable for gaining wisdom. So that was needed things. Well, then she was looking for things that are pleasing to her flesh and she wanted wisdom. There was a part of her that already wanted that. There was a part of Adam that already wanted that. And so when the serpent came, he merely was playing on something that was already there. And so for them to go to God and say, well, he told me, but there was something already there. You cannot be lured away to something that you have no desire for. So we're going to talk about blame. Because it's easy for them. Why then did they? Why did they go ahead and start pointing fingers? And have you ever been, I've worked in places where it is just like this all day long. Have you ever been somewhere where it's just like totally about blaming others and not taking responsibility? I'm going to tell you that taking responsibility is a sign of maturity. When you think about blaming, like for me, and even as I was reading some things about blaming and not taking responsibility, they say one of the biggest places that you hear it is like in elementary school, right? Like with little kids. And does anyone have children or work with children, right? And it's like, as soon as something happens, what is it? He did it. It wasn't me. They did it. I saw them. I wasn't, right? That's among children. And so what we want to do is that we want to stop drinking milk, spiritual milk, right? And that's why we come here, because we want to get to a place where we can have some meat. And so this message, I'm not blaming you, I'm not blaming me, okay? We are here to receive what God is saying so that we can grow in Him, amen? So if you start feeling hot on the back of your neck, that's okay. A lot of this made me feel hot on the back of my neck, made me feel a little like twisty, turny here. There was a lot that I went through as I was studying this, but that's okay. We can push past that so that we can be and do better, amen? So what are the reasons, or what are some of the things that we use to blame? So one of the things that we use is like when something happens, and let's say it's in an organization or among a group of people, right? And let's say the ship is going down, right? And you're just like, that was them. Like, I told them not to. I just don't even say anything anymore because they're just going to do whatever they want to do, so they just. And there's a way that we kind of separate ourselves from something as soon as it starts going down. Now, when they were taking pictures together, as this is our new leadership team, you were in the front like, hi, and it was like you were there, right? But then when stuff started going down, it was like, yeah, I don't think she's crazy, I don't know. And we do that in church too, right? Like, why is that decision they? It's that they mentality, right? Another way that we blame is that if somebody brings something to us, we go back to a reason why, instead of like accepting it, right? So like Latoya, and this is fictional. The other week, like, you really hurt my feelings because you were kind of rough with me and kind of dismissive in the way you answered me. That's just how I am. No, you don't understand. When I grew up, no one loved me. And so there's a part of me now that is not able to, is that, or, you've cheated on your spouse. What happened? Well, they were not being the way they were supposed to be toward me. And so they cheated on me first. Is this real? Does this happen? Am I making this up? I am, but does this really happen? Yes, it does. But what's another way? Well, you got an F in your class. That teacher does not like me. That teacher, well, did you do the assignments? Nobody does the assignments, but it's like she doesn't like me. It's like she has something, and I've never heard this in my life. She has something against me. I don't understand. That teacher just doesn't like me. Well, you got written up at work. What is it? My boss, he doesn't like me. Do you arrive on time? Like 8 minutes? Like, when is 8 minutes? I mean, I'm there and then I stay 8 minutes extra. Like, I don't understand. No, it's like they have something out for me. Like, I just don't, and then when we get to it, right? It's like to make it a point. There is anything not to stop and be introspective about our part in something. These kids are crazy. I can't help it. I yell all the time. They have them. They are crazy. They're running everywhere. Like, what would you do? Listen, Joshua, something happened this past week, guys. I didn't have this with any of my other kids. And I feel like I always say this. Maybe I get amnesia or something, but that thing that they call the terrible twos, guys, pray for us. I don't know what. Literally, it was overnight. Like, one day, he was so cute and like, you know, he would do stuff where you talk him down and it'd be okay. And the next day, there was just like writhing on the floor and throwing and just like, and I'm like, what? And nothing would like stop him. And it was like, and it would go from one thing to another. And it was like that all day. And then the next day, he was okay when he woke up. And then after his oatmeal, somewhere between oatmeal and nap, like things just went down really quickly. And it's just like, what is happening? And as I was in that place a couple of times trying to reason with this little boy, and like, they don't know how to reason. And so I'm just like, I understand. I understand like how people go, and I understand all of that. But listen, my patience is up to me. That is my responsibility, and I am the adult. And even though sometimes children will take you to a place just like out of body craziness, we still are responsible. But just keep that terrible too. I don't know what happened. Just keep that in prayer as an aside. I don't think anyone writing this on a prayer list. This is very serious. Okay, I guess you guys are going to remember. Okay, so that's another reason. Another thing that we do is like kind of look at the state of affairs, and somebody's going to get mad at one or two of you, it's okay. That we look at the state of affairs or something, and then we put it on one person, right? So like, everything is the way it is right now because of Donald Trump. Everything is the way it is right now because of, I don't know, right wing, left wing, this wing, I don't know, center wing. But we do that, right? Because this organization is going down because of the CEO. And it's like, isn't there a part that everyone has to play in that? Aren't there voting rights? Aren't there ways to have civic engagement? Aren't there ways to be the change in an organization? But it's so easy. Why do we blame? Why do we just blame? What is it about that? Well, one of the reasons is that we would have to then like accept responsibility and look at ourselves. See, it's easy for me to say that that is Al's fault, because then I don't have to look at what is my part in that. It is so easy to be able to do that. The other part is that, honestly, like, we care what other people think. Okay, so here's 2 weeks ago, was it 2 weeks ago, maybe a week and a half ago. So I left my job, and I'm there 1 day a week for a little while. But everything that happens, they still call me. And so they were calling me because they couldn't find something. And I I knew that it was in my office, and I had to like go like try and talk somewhere. You ever try to talk to someone through your stuff, and you're like, it's there, and you know. But then there was something in me that was like, maybe it's not there. Maybe this thing is lost, and they really need it. And so I was sick. I was sick for days because I wasn't going to be there until the next week so that I could look for it. And I'll tell you, more than anything, and I'm just being honest, more than anything, the thing that was making me so sick about it was like, they're going to think that I'm so incompetent. They're going to think, they're going to think, they're going to think. They're going to think that. They're going to be like, we're so glad she left because look, everything is in ruins now. I have a very active imagination. They're gonna, you know, I'm gonna get there and they're gonna be like, you know what? Thank you, but no thank you. Please turn around and go home. Like all of these things that we create in our minds about something because we care so much what people think because other people are perfect and never make mistakes, right? We all fall short, and maybe somebody else doesn't fall short where you fall short, but we all fall short. And we have some way of just like beating ourselves and thinking, I have to look and present a certain way in front of, they cannot see, is it a clink, a chink? What is in the armor? Do we have any knights in the armor? A chink in the armor. We have some slightly medieval here. But there's a chink in the armor, right? They can't see that. There is something about it that doesn't mean, you know, okay. So, it's just move on. So, we care so much what people think. How many of you have had a hang up because of what people think? Can we just be honest here? Like, okay. That is so debilitating. It is so debilitating. The other thing about it is that, like, consequences are not pleasant. And so if I accept blame for something, there are some consequences that I may have to walk through. I'd kind of rather not. And so if I can blame, then it kind of like the onus is not on me, and maybe I don't have to go through those consequences, right? So those are just some things that I thought of, and I'm sure that there are more. I'm so sure that there are more. But now let's put the word of God on this. Let's think about, what does God say? What does he think? What is his opinion about taking responsibility? There are a lot of examples in the Bible about taking responsibility. And what it means when people do, and what it means when people don't. Let's look at 2 kings, Saul and David, right? So Saul was the first king of Israel, but the first king of Israel, right? And God appointed him. Y'all know who Saul is? 1 Samuel, we've gone over it. You can go back and look at it. And so there is a part in 1 Samuel where God tells him, I need you to destroy the Amalekites. Like, destroy them. Like, don't leave anything alive. Nothing. And so Saul goes in and he's like, okay, and you know, his troops go in, and then they see, they're like, oh wait, like they had some red bottom shoes there. Why would we destroy these? They had some like good food here. They had some like shekels and things or whatever was valuable to them in those days. Like, why wouldn't? So let's just put that to the side, and you know, we'll just burn an offering to God. That sounds good. Yeah, we'll burn an offering to God and we'll keep all of this. And so then Samuel, the prophet, comes and he finds Saul and he says, Saul, did you do what God said? And Samuel's like, I so did. Like, we annihilated them. I did it. That was on me. Thank you. All me. I'm the king. I'm so awesome. Right? Because he's up here because he thinks he's getting the glory, right? And so then Samuel's like, really? That's interesting because I hear like the bleeding. I hear like, I hear that, which means that there is like livestock, which means that something was left alive. So at the moment that he's like, oh yeah. So what happened was the people, right, my troops, they found these things, and I was like, okay, you know, I'll let them. It was really them, and I'm like, we're going to burn it to the Lord. It's going to work out. And immediately, Samuel is like, just don't even stop. In the Bible, he's like, just Just stop. Just stop right there. Because God already told me. God already told me. So basically, you're not going to be king anymore. We're going to find somebody else. And it was shut down. And then after he heard that he wasn't going to be king, then he's like, I'm so sorry. You know, like, but it was like too little too late. And what happened after that? They anoint David to be king, which Saul did not handle well at all. That's like another sermon, like how do you handle that? Because that was a lot. So David is now king. Now, David was so perfect. He did everything that God wanted him to do. And that's why the word of God says that he was a man after God's own heart, right? No? David wasn't perfect. No, but remember the Bible said he was a man after God's own heart. Okay, so we know what happened, right? He was out, I don't know, stargazing one evening, right? And he looks over, and at those days there was like bathing al fresco, I guess. And so we have Bathsheba over there. We know what happened, right? And he's like, go get her for me, and he was transpired. And after that, right, the sin would not be hidden. And so what happens? That happens usually when a man and a woman, right? So she was pregnant, and so he's like trying to cover it up, right? He's still trying to cover it up, and so he goes and gets her husband killed out on the battlefield. Like, it just was a mess. And so the prophet comes to David, and he tells him this story about a sheep that was taken, and David's like, that's horrible. And then he was like, but that's you. And David, listen to the difference here. David says, I've sinned before God. You're right, I've sinned before God. And after that, David said to Nathan, I have sinned against the Lord. And Nathan, listen to the difference. Nathan said to David, the Lord also has put away your sin. You shall not die. Isn't that a different kind of reaction? What do you think is the difference there? When you take responsibility, let me tell you something. God already knows everything. And sometimes when we're blaming, there's so much time spent on blaming. And I thought of this in also the context of what we're doing with the Armor of God study. If we know that nothing gets by God, nothing that happens to us gets by God. You remember Job, and you remember that the devil had to go before him and ask permission for what happened to Job. It's like that with us. Nothing that we do, nothing that happens to us gets by God. Now, can I go and kick Charmaine in her shin? Yes, I can. But God allowed that. And God is saying we stay in this place of blame and looking at who did what, and when did they do it, and how did they do it, and blaming, and we're not realizing that all things work together for the good of those who love him and are called according to his purpose. So if something happened, even if I do something, there is a redemption that can come after. God is a God of renewal. He's a God of redemption. He's a God of sanctification. And so God can use those things if we will step out of blaming. There are so many of our relationships that are just broken. And God is like, I am the God who can mend it together, but you are so busy nitpicking and blaming everything on this person. We give people too much credit. Yes, do they do things to it? Yes. But what if we stop and we say, God, why is this happening? What are you going to do in me and through me in this? What can I learn from this? us to just be a victim. Just like, I have no part in any of this. Things just happen to me. Things just happen to me. And God is like, that's not who I created. My word says, I gave you power. My word says that you're healed. My word says that I'm close to the brokenhearted. And so for you to give so much credit to something that happened years ago, so is that thing going to work? So we were watching this movie on Friday. Fridays we have family movie night. And I just want to say also that it sounds very cozy and like, family movie night, but it's really not. It's like, Joshua, sit down. Caleb, are you watching? Like, it is not, I mean, we're together, but it's not like this perfect thing. And I want you not to, I think that we need to just be transparent and be like, stuff is not perfect. But we have family movie night. We saw this movie called Meet the Robinsons. Can you play that again? Okay, has anyone ever seen this movie before? So it's old, but it's a good movie, and essentially, so that little kid is called Goob, and he lives in this orphanage with this other kid, and his roommate in the orphanage is this brilliant, like, scientific kid who stays up all night building these amazing contraptions. And so, has anyone had to share a space with someone who's making noise all night? Like a newborn, or, right? And it's like, do you get rest? You don't get rest, right? And so can you imagine someone tinkering with, like, probably nuclear things and metals? And the little boy Goob was not getting any sleep. Goob was on a baseball team. He loved baseball. And so, but he was so tired. And so on their championship game, there's Goob in the outfield, and he's just like, and someone hits the ball, and it goes right toward him like a beautiful, perfect catch. And what happened? He was asleep, and that ball was like. And so then after that, all the other little league kids go and they beat him up. It's so sad. They beat him up, and they're very upset about it. And so Goob has a decision to make. This happened to me, and I can blame my genius roommate forever and take this thing as like, I can never move forward because this happened to me. Or he can move on and be resilient as children are. So Goob, do you have young Goob? That's Goob. And so you see him not asleep, there are little rings under his eyes and things. He's very tired. And so that's Goob as he's young. And Goob decided that he was going to use that thing that happened. And he was going to continue to blame and blame and blame. And so did you hear when he was like in the hall, the kids are like, hey, what's up, how are you? Hi, you want to play in my house? And he's like, they all hated me. Don't you know we're like that? Don't you know that when we set in our minds about something, it doesn't matter what people say, it doesn't matter, like, if we want to think that we are the underdog, we are going to think that. If we want to think that nobody likes us, that's what we're going to see. When you have that in your mind, as soon as somebody walks by you, you're like, that's why they don't like me, and I know. And you're like, well, they had to like run to the restroom. It wasn't about that. But we get this thing in our mind because of something that happened to us. Now I'm going to hold on to this, and I'm going to hold everybody in the world victim to it. Nobody is going to be able to do anything right by me because of what they did to me. And we stay in that place, and it hinders us. And we don't take chances on relationships. And we don't move in confidence in things because of what happened. And when we have opportunities to grow, we don't take those opportunities, right? When somebody corrects us on something, it shuts us down completely because it's like, I made a mistake, now I have no value, instead of, you know what? You're right, like, I can do better. sorry. So what ends up happening to Goob? Can't call it Goob. That's Goob when he grew up. I know. Did you know that when you blame your nose gets pointy over the years? He looks, yeah. You can take that back. And I think that is just like an illustration of our souls. That is an illustration of what can happen to us when we stop taking responsibility. We deteriorate. We don't move. You know, what if he had just gone and signed up for the next year of Little League and, you know, moved on and maybe done well and gotten into a team and played in college, or maybe he didn't, and maybe he found that writing was his talent, and so he moved in that and he thrived and he ate a little and didn't wear, you know, the clothes or whatever. Like, what if it was different? What if we could be different? What if we could be changed? And when we heard that song, it's like, yes, change, you know. And listen, that is my soul song. That is my anthem, because when I got saved, that was a song that we sang, and it still is so my life. Because let me tell you, I was and continue to be a mess. But the mess that I was back then is not the same mess that I am now. It is not the same. I'm telling you, I'm not standing here and saying that I'm perfect. God is still working some things out. He will until the moment that this soul leaves this body, but I am not the person that I used to be. And let me tell you something. I could have said, it's because this happened to me. It's because I'm a single mother. It's because of the way I grew up, my socioeconomic status. It's because I'm a woman. No, listen. We don't want for anything. You're good. Like Nina's all we need, that need. Okay, so. But we can blame all of these things. It's because my parents got divorced. It's because I was molested. It's because of the school I went to. Had I gotten into, Stuyvesant, but then they didn't let me go to Stuyvesant, so then I didn't go to Stuyvesant, and I ended up at Norman Thomas, and then all of these things happened, so then and then on and on and on. It's because they broke my heart. And all of those things, we allow them to create somebody who God never intended us to be. God is like, don't you know that I specialize in taking those things and turning them into something amazing? That is God's specialty. That is what God does. He is a God of taking the impossible and making it possible. But when we take those things and we hide them and we deflect them and we don't face them, then God is like, I can't work with that. You obviously want to stay there. And let me tell you something. God can do amazing things, but he is not going to do the things that you can do. God is not going, there has never been a morning that I have gotten up like this and gone over to my Bible, like just not of my own accord, and like open. That has never happened. I had to do it. I had to push through. I had to open the word. I had to let some things out of my life. I had to bring some things into my life. God did not do it for me. He gave me the Holy Spirit that was like, listen, now erase that number from your phone. We're not gonna, okay, you can leave it there if you want to. And listen, there's some phone numbers that I left there. It's just like, I'm good. And 2 years later, in a moment of like, and you call it, right? And I seriously did this. I called someone who we had such a terrible relationship. And like 2 years later, I was feeling sorry for myself and blaming, right? This is why this happened. And called that person. And you know the enemy is just like, wait, he's like, where you at? I'm like, it was like never faster in my life. And I felt so good and strange. That whole, I think we went to a diner or something, but in the car was just like, weird, this is not the same. Because sometimes, listen, God has delivered you. Honestly, what are you doing? You should have erased the number. Erase the number. It will not be the same. That person has not changed. And if he did, God will bring them back in his way. It's not your business to be pulling up old phone numbers. God is like, I want to do a new thing. I want to do a new thing. But listen, God is like, listen, when I bring something to your attention, when I show you something about yourself, understand, you can blame all day, but like God knows our hearts. And listen, we are not like in the Old Testament days where if we did something, we have to like pull a cow over there or cut it in pieces and all of that. And like we are living in grace. We are living in grace. And let me tell you something. The reason why some of us keep these things to ourselves is because God is gracious, but sometimes we are not gracious. Sometimes we are not gracious to others. And so why would I tell, the last time, that like I kind of told something or whatever, like Latoya would not let me live it down. She let me have it. She told me about myself because we're so good at that. We are so good at diagnosing everyone else. It's another kind of blame. I look at Latrice's life and I say, well, that's because of this. And that's big. Well, she's like that because of that. And it's like, can you stop doing commentary over somebody else's life and worry about what God is doing in your life? We do that so much. If you think that there is something that somebody needs in their life, then help them from a place of real help. And don't call 3 other people talking about you praying for Latrice and you're really only telling. Go help her. And that's why so many times in the church, we are not transparent. Because it's like, these people, like, they're merciless. They don't let you forget something. The ice that comes over people. That is a real thing. How can we be that? Show me where God is like that. Show me where the God that we worship, the God that we strive to be like, the God that we read about, the God that we have received grace from, show me where he's like that. We have no rights. And sometimes we blamed ourselves. Sometimes we have blamed ourselves for something so much that we don't allow ourselves to move forward. Some of us are like, we have no problem taking responsibility. We have no problem being like, that's me. Because I messed up. That's what I do. I'm no good. I don't even know why. He's not going to do anything. Like, it's just, and we stop and we give up. And God is like, are you serious? You are the very one that I have come for. Your circumstance is the very reason that my son was nailed to the cross. You cannot negate yourself. It's okay to hold on to grace. It's okay to be forgiven. No matter how horrible you think it is okay For God to love you and forgive you and wash you and change you and set you upon a new path and do a new thing. It is okay. You can be blessed again. You are worthy. Too many times we are holding on to blaming ourselves for things. And God is like, that is the whole point of it. If you were perfect, this story would not exist. There is nothing to fear in correction. There is nothing to fear in God showing us ourselves. There's nothing to fear about man. What can man do to me? That's what the Bible says. A few years ago, I went to this training. It was like a youth development training, and they were talking about, it was, I think it was like dealing with conflict or something like that, and one of the concepts that they had, it was called WOW. And WOW stands for, what's up, own up, what now? And it made me think about this because we can take this on when we deal with things in our own lives. So what's up? Really recognize. Don't leave elephants roaming around rooms. Don't leave any of the, like, what's up? Talk to people. Talk to yourself. If God is talking to you, be available for that conversation. What's up? Because there's an issue and we don't want to leave it, so what's up? And communicate clearly and in love about that thing. And then own up. And I have to say, seldom is there an issue that comes up where it is only the blame of one person. It just really seldom is that way. Even if someone has offended you, sometimes like you can be easily offended, or maybe you were like, be open to owning up to whatever your part may have been in that thing. And then what now? This is the beautiful place. This is the place where God says, now, how do we avoid this moving forward? What now? What now? Now I have to be more cognizant of where I put papers. Now I know that I have to really meditate on that scripture that a gentle answer turns away wrath. And that I can be more gentle in how I engage with people. Now I know that I shouldn't park that close to the hydrant. It is not the fault of that person who gave me the ticket, who I have just laid into them. Epifani, on behalf of all of the people who have ever laid into you, I just want to apologize, because I know that is not. If there's anything talking about blame, that right there, the next time that you try to let a traffic officer have it, put Epifani's face on them, and then think about it, check your heart. But there are opportunities for us to grow. We need to grow, guys. None of us have arrived. None of us. None of us. Paul hadn't arrived. And he even said that. So if we haven't arrived, that means that there's opportunities for growth. And we know that sometimes growth comes through discomfort and pain. But when you are under God, when you belong to Him, it may be painful, but He comes in and He softens the blow. And He makes a way afterward. And He surprises you with things like, I didn't even know. So it wasn't that big of a deal? Or, so God is helping me, like I've grown so much through this experience. But we won't know until we take responsibility. Until we take responsibility. Do you have anything that you need to take responsibility for? I'm not going to maybe tell everybody, but God knows. God knows that He wants to use that thing for you. Amen? Amen. Romans 15:1 said, we who are strong ought to bear with the failings of the weak and not to please ourselves. So when we are strong and we see someone else who's struggling, don't revel in that. Just because they're still somewhere where you were not so long ago. But bear with them as God bears with them. God bears a lot with us. Amen? Let's pray. God, I thank you, Lord, for your word. God, it would be such a waste for us to leave here and not have taken this word and planted it in our hearts. And if we don't move out of here and ponder it, Lord, and move in it, God, and if we don't grow. And so, Lord, I pray for every heart in here, Lord. I pray for the hearts in here, Lord, that you would change. Lord, some of the things that we blame, Lord, they're not things that are easily handled. Some of us have had trauma, Lord. Some of us are still going through trauma, God, but Lord, the point is that you are greater, God. You are greater than anything that has happened to us, and everything that has occurred, you've allowed it. And that may seem cruel, but God, we know that you love us. We know that you are not cruel. And so the things that you've allowed, you can use them if we let you, Lord. And so, Lord, I pray that the things that we used to blame, that they would now become footstools on which we can rise out of bondage, rise out of, Lord, habits. And that we can rise closer to you, God. I thank you for this word. I thank you for what you have done, Lord. Be with us the rest of